There's research that says that you are more likely to achieve success if you are happy. So I really would like to see the world that values happiness for what it is and actually has the courage to prioritize it.
Hi.
Yes, I see you. Hi.
But I was saying I've got an opportunity to talk to you. I'm very happy for that. Till now, I interviewed so many people, but I didn't interview any people from out of India. I didn't plan for that, and I'm glad that you are here. So before I start off your book and talking about all these things, I just want to ask you that what is your journey like? You are doing so many things. You are doing so good things right now and writing a book. Like, where did you start from, and what drive you to here and writing a book and doing such great things?
What drives me?
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I had a simple answer to that. I guess sometimes you just keep living, and then without asking questions, you keep doing things that you think are right. When it comes to my book, I'm a writer also, and I love writing. I mean, I started my career as an entrepreneur and a producer in personal growth and transformation. So working with other authors, helping them get their message across. But parallel to that, I've always loved writing. So eventually, it just took over. I mean, with time, you get the privilege of doing things that you enjoy a little more, and the things that you do you don't enjoy so much, maybe a little bit less. So in my case, writing a book was just a natural thing to do. I didn't need willpower. I didn't need a goal set or some kind of routines to make me work. I wanted to do that. It was, like when you wake up, you open your eyes, you breathe, you eat, because that's what we humans do. So for me, that was the writing. Of course, that doesn't mean that everything in my life has been effortless, but writing definitely is one of those things which I enjoy.
So you love writing?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So if I'll ask you a question, that if someone wants to write a book, what are the three things or 5 things that you will recommend to go through this? Like, if I'll ask, I'm someone, I never write a book. So it's like, if I want to write a book, that what is the journey will be like?
Well, I would first of all want you to answer yourself the question, why do you want to write a book? That's the most important thing. There are so many books out there in the world, and there are so many ways of writing a book. Of course, nowadays, a lot of people do that. So it has become almost mechanical. There are a lot of processes. There are teachers, there are courses which help you write a book from scratch, even if you're not a writer, even if you don't think you have a message. But then I was brought up in a slightly different, maybe era. And in my school, we had a lot of emphasis on literature. So for me, writing a book is a little bit more related to your passion, I guess. So if you look at the books of the past which have made it to our day, then they didn't follow any convention. They didn't follow any rules. They happened the way they did. Different people came up with different ways. Like, there were writers of the past who were trailblazers, who created the genre. So it really depends on what your goal is. If your goal is just to write a book because everybody has a book, then I would maybe question that kind of motivation. If you want to write it because that's part of your business model and you should, then there are a lot of courses and teachers who can help you with the process. Of course, it will be a different type of book, because it will be more like, like when you go to university, you have to write a thesis. All of us did that. It doesn't make all of us researchers, scientists, or writers. So you can do it this way. But then if it is your passion, then you will never need to ask anyone what to do. You will just wake up in the morning, open your computer and start doing what you think is right.
Wow, it's amazing. No, yeah, that's true. I also agree to that. If you have a passion and you want to do it, then that is the drive which drags you, and then you start exploring that I want to write a book, or I want to do something, I want to do my business. So that drives you. So what's your message to like being a girl doing business? So I come from why I'm asking this question. I come from a background where it believes like that you're a girl, you cannot do business, how you'll travel, how you'll do things. I am into entrepreneurship, but it took me so much to come to this, and but I did it. So it's like, what's your message to all the ladies out there who wants to do something on their own? What do you want to say to them?
I believe that this message is relevant not just to the women, but to men as well, because my message would always be to do the things that matter to you and to do the things that mean something to you. And that very often for a lot of us, that means not following the society's definition of success or society's stereotypes about what it means to be a woman or a man, or what it means, because men also get their share of stereotypes, and they also sometimes have to defy those stereotypes. But I also understand your question, because I was born in Soviet Union, which was also a very different world from where I live now. And also had lived in Asia in an Indian family for 16 years. Actually, I don't live in Asia anymore, but I still live in an Indian family. So I understand the strength of the pressure sometimes of your community, of the people that you truly love and care about, but they just they believe that the tradition and the convention is so important that if they disagree with your private choices, it is often not to defy you, and often not because they think that something is wrong with you. They're sometimes genuinely scared that you're doing the wrong thing, because that's how generations of people have been brought up. So I get it when people are genuinely scared that you're a young girl, why are you doing business? You should be looking for a husband. I get it. And why are you spending all this time on your career? You know, your biological clock is ticking. When are you getting kids? We have to face all of that, unfortunately. But you know, whether it's this kind of choices, or even if you, I think we always have those choices. What we think that we should do versus what our heart feels that I want to do. And we live in a paradigm that says that what your heart says is a mistake. It's either not reasonable, or it's a huge gamble, or it's selfish. These are the things that people are so afraid of that they wouldn't even dare to listen to their heart. They think, I'm being irresponsible, I'm being selfish. This is not a wise thing to do. I'd rather go for success because this is certain. I understand success. It's tangible. I get it. Work yourself to death and you'll be successful. Following my heart, I do not know. Is it going to make me money or not? You know, is it going to make me happy or not? So we face those choices, and because nobody prepares us for those choices, we tend to choose the things which we think are certain, and the things that are certain, and usually what everybody else does. Because I've never known somebody who follows their heart, who defies the convention and are successful. So why would I venture into that? Isn't that risky? Where I can see so many of my friends and peers who just work hard, do the right thing, even if it's dreadful and boring, and even if they... And that's why we go there, because we think it's certain.
Also, I faced all that situations. It's like study, then get a job, go to marriage, then it's your life cycle goes like this. But as you said, it's about listening our heart. No one teaches us that exactly. We learn to listen to our mind, our brain definition of success, of doing this, that actually doesn't happen like that. Later on, I also realized doing a business, creating something good, creating impact in people's life, what matters is listening to your heart, building the emotional connection. All these things are very important. But nobody in no school we taught that okay, you need to listen to this, you need to experience different fields. It doesn't happen like that. So coming back to your book, I'm very curious to know that. So what's inside the book? Like, and two questions I'll ask: what's inside the book? And another one thing is, why do you feel, because not everyone read books, but why do you feel that reading book is a very good habit? I read book, but I want to listen from you.
Well, I think that there are different ways to transformation. So I also have online courses, like
Yeah.
what's, that's what we do nowadays. But a book is a little bit more profound thing, and because I was brought up with huge love for literature, then for me it is definitely. It was definitely something that I wanted to do. It's like saying, why would you paint a portrait or let an artist paint a portrait of yourself when there are so many photographs? I think for me, in my case, I speak a lot. I go on stage. I have online courses. I do interviews. There's a lot of material. Obviously, everything I had to say, I have said it in pieces here and there, but writing a book was like having this painting done. It's a different format, and I needed to do that for myself. What's inside book, my editor insisted on asking this question, and I've been not reluctantly, actually obstinately refusing to give that answer, because I believe that a book is a journey. And yes, it is a journey back to you. So I really hope that every reader who picks up that book is going to embark on that journey. It is going to be full of surprises. I'm going to be there helping them along, but it is ultimately a journey of each single reader to their true selves, because this is a book about living authentically, about finding your way back to you. And it is not my autobiography by no means. It is a journey which I have crafted out for my readers. I do use my life as an inspiration and occasionally as an illustration to certain concepts, but I think it's going to be a discovery. It's like when you open Lord of the Rings, nobody tells you that the Fellowship of the Rings is going to fall apart in chapter 5, and then so and so is going to happen. So that's why I'm a little reluctant to tell what's going to happen in my book. But it is a journey back to you, and it covers a lot of ground. We talk about success and happiness, and about perfectionism, about hustling, about emotional intelligence,
Wow.
honesty, kindness, courage, a lot of things. So it is a long journey. I mean, it's not a huge book, but it is a wonderful journey.
Yeah. I'm really excited to read your book, by the way, and I'm really glad that you are here on the JRS show, and you are a beautiful lady, no doubt in that. And thank you so much. I have a lot of questions, I know, but if I'll start asking, I will love to interview you once again. I love to meet you in person in future. Thank you so much. So I ended before time because I have a lot of questions. I'll just keep going on. Thank you.
Yeah, you can ask. I think we have space for if you need to ask something.
No, she just dropped a message that I have 5 minutes. Otherwise, I can ask something.
I think one question we can do.
Okay. So it's a random question that
okay,
3 minutes still available. Thank you. So here is a random question that I can ask you, that who is the inspiration of your life?
I find a lot of inspiration in my children.
Okay, I would love to hear. Children?
Yeah, in my children. Yeah, because I think, of course, when it comes to serious life, then depending on the area, like if it comes to business, it would be a business person. If it comes to investing or finances, it would be a person who succeeded in that area. But it's not so much inspiration as sources of where you can learn, and sources of wisdom and good paradigms and good ideas. But when it comes to inspiration, it's definitely my children and my mom. My mom, because first my children because they are still uncorrupt by cares and worries of the world. So they really inspire me to just enjoy life the way it is. And I think we lose this ability. And they inspire me to be better, to move on. And occasionally when you feel that you get tired of life, children are definitely there to give you inspiration to keep going, because they're the source of light and joy. But in addition to that, I remember traveling with my daughter when she was 4 years old, just the wonder that she had in discovering the world. It was so contagious. And for the same reason, my mom is my inspiration, because she's soon going to be 70, but I love experiences with her, because she's that person who comes to the new place and she goes like, oh my God, look at this is so cool. And I think this is something which over time we lose. We get jaded and we stop wondering. And I truly believe that curiosity is a much better fuel for transformation than criticism, than judgment, than pain, than desire to run away from that pain. Curiosity is the best fuel for transformation. And that wonder, that ability to see things and say, oh my God, look at this. This is so awesome. This is what ignites the curiosity. So for that reason, my children and my mom.
Yeah, with time, actually, when we grew older and we went for the career and other things, sometimes we forget about the childhood and the things that we need to feel good about. So, another one question, can I ask about your book?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
It's about my book. How can I say no?
So, how did you come up with the book name, or how much time it took you to write a book? And normally, how much time it take to write a book? What's your take in this? What do you feel?
You know, writing a book is the easiest part. Then depending on how you decide to publish, going with a traditional publisher is always a lot of work, because they have a lot of processes that have to go through, because one thing is a manuscript. The other thing is a book, which is on the shelves of the shops. So manuscript is an easy part. And that's the part which I enjoy the most. So writing the book probably took me half a year, and I didn't do just writing a book. I kept living my life and traveling and doing work. So only wrote book in the mornings for a few hours. But the whole publishing process takes quite a bit. It depends on who you publish with and what your goal is. So in my case, it takes another year.
Okay, but I am just asking that writing takes how much time? Like normally it depends upon you, like person to person varies, or?
Well, you see, writing a book is a creative process. So you can measure time of you sitting down and writing the words in the computer. And that is not a lot of time. It's, how long does it take to type things out? But then if you do research, that adds time to it. If you are a creative person, sometimes you need to deliver your writing. And that means you walk around and you do nothing. And it looks from the surface that you are just loitering, but that's how the ideas are born. So you can't really put it in that time. Like, for example, when I write a book and I only write, let's say, 2 hours in the morning, the rest of the day, I'm not actively writing, but I'm hatching certain things and I'm feeling certain things. So sometimes it takes me a day to just digest and come to clarity, but it only takes me 5 minutes to put it on paper after I have been digesting it for a day. So it's a process which cannot be easily measured.
Are you happy in your life? Before
Yes.
I end, are you happy in your life?
Yes.
And do you think that happiness mattered the most in our life, whatever we do?
Definitely it does, definitely. And there's research that says that you are more likely to achieve success if you are happy. So I really would like to see the world that values happiness for what it is and actually has the courage to prioritize it.
Thank you.